Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your hosts, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. As you guys will see me in completely different places almost every single day. Welcome to the life of traveling and couch surfing. At the moment, Miami.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a bad life. I couldn't do it. I've got too much baggage, too many children to fit on the couch. But they all do fit on the bed, so I'm stuck here most nights. So I'm sorry I missed Monday, Tuesday. It happens. But let's go into the charts. I think Bitcoin's at a very, very, very interesting point. I'll go first and I'll whip through my analysis. Please let me know if there's any technical issues, if I'm choppy or whatever like that.
No, you're good.
We'll
It's
see what
actually
happens.
better than usual.
Good, because I restarted my computer. So, look, everybody, I saw Crypto, friend of the show. He posted something, we'll just call it like, I can do this better. Maybe it was on a daily time frame. I'll do this the most obvious bear flag. I think it might look shit 4 hours might have been it. The most obvious bear flag you've ever seen. Doing this live on camera here. Where he was just sort of pointing to like this sort of structure. Everybody sees. At the point of my rant is right. He posted this on Twitter, and then maybe somebody else copied his exact image, and they were like, they reused his image. Maybe they reused his image. I don't know. Maybe they did. Right? They did. It looked very similar, but everybody sees this, right? Like we all see the bear pennant playing out. Like it's pretty damn hard to ignore. I don't like it, and I want. I don't know if I've ever bear pennant go up, right? Like it seems very unlikely that, look, if you believe in charting patterns, that this thing's just gonna pop to the upside. All right, yes, we're putting in higher lows, but I mean, it has to like make its mind up immediately for this thing to not be scary. So my point about Crypto was not to bag on him. I don't mind him. I think he's actually quite a very good trader, and I've met him a number of times at the Financial Summit. Very, very nice man. But everybody sees this, right? It's very, very clear. We had an attempt as a 4-hour time frame of like breaking down like recently. The last time we did a show was on Monday, and I don't know where the price was there, but I was in a long when the price dropped all the way down to about 65,000. I doubled the position, so I'm from 66,000 to 50. I'm very, very long, and I'm kind of happy with this trade because this is my entry is on this black line. I'll make it bigger. Is exactly where I'm happy with the entry and not happy if we break below it. So I'm just going to set a break even stop here, which kind of sucks because like I was in from a trade back, from lower down a few days ago, and I was in about 10K's profit unrealized, let it go down. Now I'm back in. I was back in like 7K profit, let it go back down. Now it's in about $1,000 profit for where it stands right now. I don't want to like stare the face of like nearly $10,000 trades and not take them in the hopes that it's going to break out. This is personal stuff. I do think, back to the point, that my line here of my trade, exactly on my trade, is the point of no return on this immediate time frame where I would no longer be bullish should we break that point, where I do think there is a great chance, as it stands right now, still inside this channel here, that we can break out. Going to higher time frames, I'll tell you why it'll make more sense. My crazy ramblings on the 4-hour time frame is because we clear as day did get that weekly green diamond on the weekly time frame, as you can see right here, as the week closed, sort of 3 weeks ago. Now, I still believe that's a keeper. That's in the books. So anything on this weekly green diamond and below, I still believe is a terrific, terrific long-term buy. The trade that I'm currently in is playing off that weekly green diamond. But if we were to come down and break even out of it, I would just look for another opportunity to get back into that same trade, the same size. I still feel like there's a trade, the best trade that you could possibly make over the next 4 years is right here on the cards. It's just we're really, really tight with it right now. Some of the oscillators, what do they look like? Let's have a look at the coffee curve. It's been I haven't done a show since Thursday last week. The copy curve still pointing flat down. Is it rounding? I don't know, but I love how low it's getting. Like it's getting like down to the point where it's like as low as it can get. It has got, I should say, not as low as it can get. Jeez, I don't want to talk about that. The RSI is super oversold, which is terrific on the weekly. This is like where you want to be at all the bottoming times. It's going back in history, all the way back in time. It doesn't get much lower than that. You would expect a response if Bitcoin has any ability to respond to the condition it's in. The Socrates EXA, I never liked this cross, never did. Now it's flatlining down. I'd like to see that cross again. That is in no man's land. And finally, the MACD is, which I'm a counter trader, right? Like, I mean, look at this. Look at the MACD in the history of Bitcoin. Look at the MACD in the history of Bitcoin, Tone Vase. It can't be any worse. So either Bitcoin's dead, or now is the time to start stacking. And I'm in that camp that now is the time to start stacking. Coming back to you in the studio, Tone Vase. I'm very interested in your opinion about what I just said as I come back to you. Do you think, looking at that MACD, looking at that weekly green diamond, which historically has been, money for jam, is it different this time, brother, or is it just a time to start DCAing, start stacking for the future? But before you answer that, please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Share this show out with your friends, guys. Get inside that Discord group. A lot of big news coming in that Discord group soon. And Tone, please answer that question I posed to you, mate.
Well, speaking from someone that was working at Bear Stearns during the collapse of the '08 markets, my short answer is things can always get worse. And as a case in point, someone, Sand Snake, who's been a long-term follower of mine, probably going back to like 2016, asks, Tone, is war with Iran coming? That's what scares me right now. I am starting to get, I'm not really an anxiety person, but now that I've embroiled myself in this stupidity of BIP 110 and knots, there's really not enough time in the day, in the week. There's not enough brain activity to really follow everything, right? I was able to follow geopolitics and trading and health. And now that 70% of my time had suddenly become Bitcoin and arguing with the stupid of people attacking Bitcoin. Like, imagine you have your life all set, and then 70% of your life becomes something else. I do not have time to pay attention to the price of Bitcoin as much as I did. I do not have time. All my health went out the window. Everything I've accomplished in 6 months is out the window. And it's very, very hard to keep up with geopolitics as well. What I will say is, yes, a war with Iran is concerning from a geopolitical perspective and from a markets perspective, what it will do to oil markets and all the markets. And I am also, just like I was 90% confident that the moment the United States government started moving their big warships towards Venezuela, that a war with Venezuela was inevitable. That's why I ended up canceling my trip to Venezuela in October. But I didn't know when U.S. was going to militarily attack Venezuela. Now, the war with Venezuela only lasted about 48 hours, but it could have lasted, you know, 4 years. Like we just don't know, right? Like this is the uncertainty on the markets, right? Like the Russia and Ukraine war also could have lasted 48 hours because there was a deal on the table within 48 hours. That deal ended up being broken, and now that war is going on 4 years. Venezuela could have been, it could, like the world could have been opposite right now, right? The Russia Ukraine war could have been 2 days, and the America Venezuela war could be 4 years. So, yes, a war with Iran is coming. Will it be 4 days or 40 years? We just don't know, but it is coming. What kind of effects it will have on the market? Well, it depends if it's 48 hours or 48 years, right? Like we just don't know, but it is coming.
Why are we talking about war? Look at the Dow. Look at
Right.
Pam Bondi. Look at
Right.
the Dow. You know.
So, politics aside, let's go look at the price of Bitcoin. Someone else asked in the audience, did the bear market start in August? The answer is no, absolutely not. The bear market did not start in August. I mean, you can't just cherry pick the candle of the high and say that's when the bear market began. The bear markets don't begin the month of the high. Bear markets begin when prior lows get broken. So when did the prior low get broken?
Can I say something about that? If you turn on alphanumerics, that exact candle, and it's interesting that whoever asked that question, they must have some insight to why. Because actually, alphanumerics had a false bear market signal on that exact candle. See how there was a chop? That candle in that zone was when we first thought the bear market was coming on that red star candle. I thought that perhaps was
Right
going to
here.
be, yes. And then it recovered and went green again with a green star. And then the next attempt on the next green star, a red star, I should say, is when it kicked off the bear market proper. That was a bad week for me, big time, but it turned out right down the line.
So looking at this weekly chart, right? It instantly breaks the narrative that the bear market started in August because we had a swing high and a new closing high on weekly candles in October, right? Like the high comes in October, and the swing high comes in October. The closing high comes in like on the last day of September, right? So that immediately says, well, maybe the bear market started with this red star candle, but this red star candle is just a normal consolidation at the top. So from a weekly perspective, the earliest you can say that the bear market began is November 3rd, and anyone that did claim that the bear market began the first week of November, it's most likely it's one of two things. Either the person got very, very lucky by calling this the beginning of a bear market, pure luck, or this type of person has been claiming that the bear market started, like every other month for an entire year, and then they're just eventually they got it right?
So, I mean, and that's a terrific point, Tone. Agreed. That red wave doesn't indicate a bear market at all to me. It just means I'm stopped my bullish mindset, and I'm not buying 4-hour green diamonds anymore, right? And I'm just starting to look for something longer term. It's not you've got no force, what's the word, like no insight into the future. You're just like, I'm cautious now. When the wave is green, I'm like, let's roll. And when the wave is red, I'm like, be careful. That's it. That's all it is.
So to me, when can I claim that the bear market began? For me, it's easy. If we are in a bear market, which we could very likely be, the bear market began with this red star candle here when we broke below 86. And I was talking about this for an entire month of November and December. For like 2 months, like this is the start of the bear market. the last week of January, maybe the second week of January when we started to go back to that floor. So Jan like January 20th, and now we can go to the monthly chart and we see that the January is also happens to be the monthly red star candle that closed with a new swing low with a red star. So if we are to say that the bear market has started, this is the candle that did it, because for as much as I hate double bottoms, I know they have a 30-40% chance of sticking.
Yeah.
But the break of a double bottom does not have a chance of sticking. That leads to significant lows. So if we are in a bear market, the start of that bear market happened in January of 2026.
Mm.
Okay. And just like over here, this one was worse. To me, and I was saying it, the start of the bear market began somewhere over here in April of 2022, and then we dropped an additional, 60% or so. The easiest bear market to spot was, of course,
Mm. Well, yeah. Yeah.
the 2017 bear market. And this one was spotted very early by me within a week or two of the all time high. And that happened in January of 2018. Tyler Jenks spotted it, a few weeks before me. Tyler Jenks caught it
Mm.
within a week of the all time high. I
Yeah.
caught it within, let's say, 3 weeks of the all time high, still fairly close in price. And the same thing can be said for 2013.
And
20, this
since then, Tone, as well, since 2017, 18, that Christmas there, it hasn't been as easy to call ever after. Do you know?
no,
Like it's not been the same. It's not
right.
been a blow off top with a massive, insane God candle to end the cycle. It's not been that.
Now, the 2013 bear market was also very easy to spot,
Mm.
especially with the MRI. However, I was not doing content in 2013. I first showed up on the scene around here. I think the first article I ever wrote was in March of 2014, right? So I can claim all I want about spotting the 2013 bear market early, or the spotting the top early, I should say, not necessarily
Mm.
the bear market. But it's like
Yeah.
a tree in the forest. No one heard me because I didn't even have Twitter. Like right
Mm.
here on in December of 2013, I had no Twitter account. I had no blog. I had no website. I had no Reddit. Like I had no social media. I had a Facebook. I mean, that's all I
It,
basically had at this
it
time.
was it was a different world back then. We were all reading books and bloody.
I didn't have a YouTube channel. I mean, I had a YouTube account, but I didn't have a YouTube channel. Like no one knew who I was other than friends and family
Yeah.
over here. In December of 2013, no one knew who I was unless you were friends and family. And I think all I had was a Facebook. That was my only social media over here. I created my Twitter account around April of 2014. That's also when I downloaded the Telegram app, and then I got on the World Crypto Network, and probably near the end of 2014, I started writing for Cointelegraph in June of 2014. So this was the start of my social media career, and doing price analysis on the World Crypto Network started at the end of 2014, and my personal YouTube channel only started in 2016 because that's when I branched off from the World Crypto Network where I was doing all my content. So I can't claim anything back here because no one saw it, right? But I was already paying attention to Bitcoin then. Anyway, total tangents. Let's go to the price analysis. The monthly chart looks like complete and utter disaster. There's nothing more to say about that. The weekly chart looks like a complete and utter disaster. There's really nothing more to say about that. The daily chart, while I know you guys are drawing a
Yeah. Yeah.
symmetric triangle on a 4 hour chart, I
Yeah.
am being more optimistic than you and Crypto and whoever else is copying his triangles. I am
Everybody is.
drawing an ascending triangle because I am, I don't know, uh, I want to make myself believe that there is a chance of a possibility that
Mm.
we can go back to the all-time high, right?
Good,
So,
good.
but like that's basically how I can say it, right? And I'm drawing it as an ascending triangle because I love the fact that we are still above the prior swing high and close. Sorry, above the prior swing low and above the prior closing low, and we had an MRI buy candle, and we had one of your green diamonds on the daily chart.
Another one
And
as
I'm
well.
just being like a hopeless bullish shill
Good.
with, a 20% chance is still a chance. And
Good.
so that's what I'm aiming
Okay,
for.
okay, okay. Next question. Question without notice. I'm sorry, but let's just say this symmetric triangle, no, not
Ascending.
symmetric, ascending triangle breaks that the bottom line there. What do you see? I have a plan. I said it in my analysis. I don't mind if I have to close my position, which is in a, it's still in profit as we speak. I'm 66 250. But I would just look to re-up at a lower position. I'm not concerned about that too much. It just more time, but I'm the eyes on the prize. What do you feel about if we ascending triangle gets is collapsed? So I mean, where do you see it happening then?
Well, if a triangle collapses, I would delete the triangle. If we break the lows of mid-February, then my target becomes, $49,000.
Yeah. So, but the extended question, the run-on question is,
And the only reason why my target becomes $49,000 is because I can't get myself to say my target actually becomes $29,000.
yeah. Well, let's not talk about that. But my point is like if you were cautiously bullish now that perhaps we can have a recovery from here, why does another 10-15% lower make you less interested in a buy on Bitcoin? Do you know what I mean? Like
Because
if now could be a buy, why can't 10% lower be a buy? That's the way I view it. I view that we've already crashed 50%. So if we do crash now, if I buy it 60% lower or 70% lower,
no,
80%
man,
lower.
I get the question
Yeah, you get the
because
question. Please.
because I
Yeah.
have absolutely no TA support
Mm,
for confidence lower, right? If
yeah.
we break these lows of 65,
Mm,
I now have a double bottom
mm,
at 60, right? I have a double bottom, which means that the 60 support is now weaker than it was before, where it becomes a lot easier to break this double support of 200 week plus the MRI support line, because the last time we crashed into it, we had to
mm.
go a long way, and it's kind of like a trampoline, right? Like kind of like the like there's only so
Refraction.
much momentum you can
Yeah.
have. So
Yeah.
now momentum is gonna be a lot stronger the moment you hit this thing, and
Yeah.
it's more likely to break. I have a monthly that's already saying we have 5 more months of downside. So time
Yeah.
wise, we got a lot further to go. I have absolutely no support whatsoever until we go all the way down to 30,000 at that point. There is nothing here. So
Mm,
I just have nothing to cling to. Like right now,
mm.
as I look at this ascending triangle, I have something to cling to, and it
Yeah.
has no margin for error. I have a
Yeah.
technical, by when I say technical, I mean technical analysis. I have a technical reason to uh, look at this and say we have a chance to go up. If we break below $65,000,
Yeah.
I will have absolutely no technical reason for a chance to go up until we reach a weekly MRI buy. And if that weekly MRI buy is at 60,000, I will have equally as many reasons from a technical perspective
Mm,
that we're going to keep going down. versus the MRI being the only thing that says we go up. It's not the only thing, but it'll be MRI plus the double support, but it's fighting against the double bottom, which is bearish to me.
Great question from our great friend. It's hard YouTube. The lower we go, the longer it will take to get back to the all-time high again. Thoughts?
It's a true statement. It will take longer. Now, again, the lower you go, the more likely you are to buy at the low. But the thing is, things could only go lower. And you have to realize that, you know, falling 50% from 50,000 to 25,000 is easier than falling 50% from 120,000 to 60,000. So if you enter a 2x leverage trade, there is a higher chance you're going to get liquidated because it's just, easier to go. So this is why a lot of people right now are, in trouble with their leveraged loans, right? Like a lot of people right now need to add liquidity to when they leverage their Bitcoin. Right now, they need to add liquidity, and they add the liquidity. And what happens if we now fall 50% more? I mean, they could get totally fucked. So
isolated, staying isolated, guys. Don't go in open.
Right now, if you're entering your 2x leverage trade now, you're in great shape. But if you entered that 2x leverage trade at 90, thinking that it can't go below 60, like, what are you going to do when it hits 30? Like, you can get in a lot of trouble. And this is how people end up, getting liquidated at the low.
If you entered a 2x leverage trade at 90, you're already
right. Well, you're not effed yet, but the moment it hits 45, you're totally screwed.
Yeah.
Right? You're totally screwed. And if we go below 65, I think 45 is becomes very, very likely. But anyway, let's go. Oh, look, we're rallying right now. The 10 a.m. reversal. Here we come.
We're fine. We're totally fine. Totally fine.
So I drew this channel last time. Let's see if I can adjust this channel a smidge. The tone vase rules look very, very good right here. The tone vase rules is a channel and we have a chance to break this channel right now. Bam, right there. Yeah. We're rising.
It's going straight. We're breaking out. It's done.
Right.
We're good.
So if I was in a trading contest, I mean, this is if I was in a trading contest right now, I would be going short-term leveraged long on Bitcoin because this 1 hour chart, and I'm sure the 4 hour chart, the 4 hour chart is not going to be on a green star yet, but in 21 minutes, we should have a green star candle if we keep rising for the next 20, 30 minutes. We hit a green star. We'll need 4 more hours to solidify a green star. And that could be something, right? Like, again, going back to this, this could be something. If Bitcoin price can get back to above 70, if we can break this moving average, I'm going to be very, very bullish here, at least back to the 80s. And it all comes down to this. There is still zero signaling for the Knots attack on Bitcoin. And if we look at the futures markets, there is only not futures markets, a prediction market. There's only a 16% chance that the attack on Bitcoin gets activated by September 1st. This should actually be August 4th, not September 1st. But I think that as this movement fails, it should it'll give me a lot more confidence about Bitcoin.
Yeah. I want to talk. Can I answer one question? Can I answer one question?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to try and reply, but it's a really important question. I could be remembering this. I could be misremembering this, but in the past, Matt said the green diamond during a red waves are not optimal buys. Does this not include the weekly time frame? Go back to alphanumerics status. I don't know what that last bit means, but look, 100%, you cannot have a weekly green diamond or a monthly green diamond. Even it's rare to have a daily green diamond inside a green wave. There's two different forms of alphanumerics. There's trader mode and then swinger mode, and investor mode. We are looking for weekly green diamonds, 3-day green diamonds. They are never going to be inside a green wave. Never, ever, ever going to happen. But occasionally you get a daily green diamond inside the green wave, which is at the same time as Tone's famous 2022 call where he said, this is the best time you're ever going to buy. The wave was green and we got a daily green diamond. And I was right there with him saying, yes, that's the buy. But for week higher time frames, it's impossible to have the both. These are knife catching buys in a bear market. They're not like a 4-hour green wave buy where it's just like a retest of some support level inside a bull market. So yes, brother, you're right, but you're right and wrong. You know what I mean? It's always going to be a red wave. Sorry, Tony, to cut you off, mate, but
No, it's fine. We are very close to March 18th, and I am going to be talking about this a lot more once March comes around. I do think that by March 18th, enough people should recognize what BIP 110 does as an attack. Now, March 18th could also be the breakdown period. March 18th could also be, potentially the big crash. But I do believe that March 18th is a good time to reverse the market. So we'll see as we get closer. I do want to talk about gold and silver. Bitcoin dominance is doing well. We are in an uptrend, even though we have a short-term, like a week or two downtrend here. Overall, this is definitely an uptrend. Gold and silver are up this morning. However, I still see this as a near-term breakdown. Yesterday was the red star candle that kind of solidified it for me. I still find a short on silver here a lot more interesting than a long, and my thesis would be broken with the break of this trend line. So you have a trend line, you have a Fibonacci line. They're both been broken. Bitcoin Motorist is no longer a moderator of this channel. Bitcoin Motorist has been booted from most of my Telegram groups. Bitcoin Motorist is me having an annoying day independent of the Bitcoin world for me to block him on Twitter and also Telegram. So Bitcoin Motorist to me is now a bad actor in the space, trying to separate myself and most other people from their wealth. And it's not that. And I don't want to subject myself to reading his tweets every time I send off a tweet, because clearly he has nothing going on in his life other than trying to attack Bitcoin at this point. So that's all I have to say about Motorist. If Motorist starts getting annoying in the comments of this channel, the moderators have full reign of blocking him from this channel as well. I honestly don't care anymore. There's only so much leeway I give to people that are attacking my wealth. So if they're being respectful about it, if they're not being annoying about it, if they're not replying to a million comments, then I'm able to, deal with it. But Motorist is, I think he cloned himself to like 8 people because humanly, I don't know how. I mean, it's an obsession to comment that much about this particular topic, and if it was on the right side of the topic, maybe it would be better. But he might get blocked even if he was on the same side as me on this thing. It's an obsession. People need to come back to reality. All right. The gold silver ratio. I mean, again, that was the trade, right? The gold silver ratio is beautiful right there with the MRI. Bye.
All right, wind her up. S&P, the big show.
And S&P 500 is having a good day. Bitcoin is having a good day, you know? So maybe we're back to being correlated. Do I think BIP 110 supporters know how bad it is, or they do something good? 90% of BIP 110 supporters are 2020 Bitcoiners. They all showed up here in the 2020s, and they have no clue how Bitcoin works. So like this is a good lesson for them. So the majority of BIP 110 supporters are anonymous animal pictures on Twitter, and
Yeah,
they're
I got
Bitcoiners from
really
2020s.
I got really like turned off. I'm not into this. This is not my fight. Though it should be, but it's not. I can't be fucked with it. But someone commented to you, maybe one of the leaders of the Penguin crew or whatever whatever he is. He's like, Tone, do you even have any Bitcoin? And you're like, no. And he's like, see, he doesn't even have any Bitcoin. So how can you have any comment? It's like, all right, bro. Great. You're all over it. All right, mate. This guy's like, I mean, just like, what the fuck is he talking about? You don't have to respond to him and report to him how much Bitcoin you've got or you don't have. It's irrelevant.
You know, I don't have any Bitcoin. I love the
Right.
fact that I love the fact that the internet, I love the fact that AI is now aware that I have no Bitcoin. This is awesome.
Yeah. Tone's got no Bitcoin.
I have no Bitcoin.
Me too. Me too. I just lost it in a boat.
I have no Bitcoin. I have no opinion. Like, it doesn't matter that the leader of that whole movement, Luke Dashjur, had all his Bitcoin, hacked, and he also has no Bitcoin. So it's like that part doesn't matter. But not having Bitcoin matters for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Like your developer has no Bitcoin either.
Yeah.
They're all 20. They're all noobs. Like, they actually have no clue how Bitcoin works. They have no clue how Bitcoin works. I mean, they need to find out. They'll find out when they get forked off the network.
Yeah, they can get forked for all I care. All right, let's go, Tone. It's really late. It's nearly 1 a.m. here, man.
All right. I'm gonna let you go. Thanks so much, Raj. Like, I really thought that someone like Motorist understood how Bitcoin works because he's been in this space, as long as I have, but clearly he doesn't. All right. Thank you all for watching, and see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.
See you guys. Thank you.